Okay, I went ahead and did some shopping, and I got a couple of pieces that I'm going to be able to use. This first thing here is a bunch of little pipe bends, plastic ABS pipe bends, and they just attach together. They just slide in together, and I'm going to use these to make the tube that drops down into the box. So here's the box. And the tube will drop down into here like that. Now the problem is, this is too big, this is too small for this hole. So I have this. And this is a reducer that I found at the hardware store that I cut with a knife because I want to fit it in here. So what I'll do is I'll just pop this in. Like so, and now I've got a nice little tube here that I can attach this to, and I can use this guy, little clamp, slide that on, and I'll just tighten this off. Okay, now that's on there nice and tight. All right, so now I've got this this box set up where I should be able to just pop that in here and get this to connect up to here. Now, I also have this reducer that goes on here. So what I'll have to do is cut a little bit, maybe half of that off, so that it will fit on the flange that goes inside of here. Once I've done that, I need to cut a hole . I need to cut that hole a little bit bigger so that this pipe can go down in there. So it doesn't need to be that big. I've actually drawn the circles I've drawn are larger than they need to be. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and get my Dremel out and start working on it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out a bit. Hopefully this cutoff wheel will do it for me. Okay, so after quite a bit of cutting, I have now opened it up enough that I can get this tube in, and that should get me to the point where we can start installing this box. Now I'm going to clean all this up, and I'm going to go and put some paint around the raw edges here because it wouldn't do to have that rust. Okay, so I've done some fitting and test fitting and retest fitting, and I found the best solution for this whole mess is to use this red reducer. This is like 4.5 inches down to 4, and then I got this plastic pipe, flexible pipe like this that I cut in half. I got this from Orchard Hardware, and that fit really nicely. This barbed end here fit really nicely right inside of here, nice and tight. And then the other side actually fits into here. Now this is there isn't much coming in here, and I'm not too thrilled about that. So this one actually has a little bit more of that accordion. So I'm going to go ahead and use that one and replace this piece here. And then you can see I've got the little tube And that goes straight down into this area underneath the car. I don't know if you can see it, but you can. It's getting plenty of air from the little fog light holes and the air dam. There's got plenty of air there, so it should get plenty of cold air there. Hopefully keep heat soak to a minimum, as can be an issue with these cars. So I test fit the hood, make sure it closed, and it does. And so what I need to do next, pull this all out, clean my mess up in there, put some paint in there so the edges don't rust where I cut. And then I need to ABS cement the little snorkel segments permanently. Otherwise, they'll just come right off when I'm driving. And then put it all back together again. I'm going to go ahead, one other thing is I'm not going to use this area to mount. I'm going to use this because I've got a nice flat surface that this will butt right up against, making it really easy to mount. So I'll just put a bolt right through that. And we should be good to go. So we'll get started on that next. Okay, I've decided that we're going to have to attach the lid a little bit in a little different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these little 1-inch blocks of wood. I'm going to cut these using, well, I normally would use a saw, but unfortunately someone borrowed my saw and hasn't returned it, so I'm going to have to use a Dremel with a cutoff wheel. But I'm basically going to make 4 of these little 1-inch long blocks and use those with wood screws. I'm going to glue them into the airbox and I'm going to attach the lid into these using wood screws. So I've marked these. Let me go ahead and just draw a line. I don't have to, I mean, they're about 1 inch apart, about 1 inch long. They don't have to be exact, just close. Alright, the rest of that looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these off camera with my Dremel, and I'll be back. I've got these guys here made. I believe I have another one here somewhere. Let's find it. There it is. So we got these 4 guys made, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these guys right on the inside, like so. I'm going to glue these all in place on each corner, and like that, and like right here. And that's what we're going to use to attach the lid with. We're just going to use wood screws, so I'm going to drill holes once I'm done doing that. So what I'm going to use to attach this to the acrylic is this marine epoxy. This is designed to bond ceramic, fiberglass, metal, tile, wood, and more. So this should work well on this. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up and see how well that works. I don't know if you can see that, but let me move that. Okay, so these guys, as you can see, the angle isn't right. I can't really do it either way. I'm just going to attach it up to one side, and I'm hoping this will stay on. We'll see how that goes. So just apply it to one side, and I will attach it up here. Again, slightly recessed from the top of the box, and we're just going to let that sit. And then finally, this last one. Same deal. It's it's not going to, it's only going to be able to be attached on one side. Let me choose my best side and I'll do that. Okay. Alright, stick that in there. And now what I may do, I may look and see if I can't find a clamp to hold these guys up there just in case this starts to fall off before it sets. So let me go find something and I'll be right back. Okay, so I found these two clamps, and they're going to hold the upper ones on, and the bottom ones, they should just be held in place by gravity. I'm going to let that sit overnight, and I'm going to come back to this tomorrow. Drill holes in the center of each of these so that they match up with the holes that I have on this guy. Now, I went ahead and reprinted or recut one of these, cut this lid on the laser cutter because I cracked the lid on my last one trying to drill this, and it just wasn't working well. So I decided, well, why don't I just do it again, and this time put the holes in the Illustrator file and have the laser do the hard work, and that worked out a lot nicer. So we're going to do that. Got this bolt here. Actually, it's a screw with this wood screw. So that'll just go right into that, no problem. So we'll do that tomorrow and continue. Okay, clean that up with a little bit of canned air. So I'm going to go make sure this all lines up, and it does. Put a bolt on, and another one, and I might actually use a washer for that later, but for now this will work. Alright, let's go ahead and try bolting that on. Don't want to go too tight because I'll crack the plexiglass. I learned the hard way how easily this cracks. There we go. And finally, this last one. Hopefully that's not going to be in the way. Alright, well that'll hold the lid on. Don't even need one there if I don't really want to put one there. But yeah, okay, so good. Next step, I'm gonna do the next step off camera, which is basically reinstall it, make sure everything fits up the way I expect, which I expect it will. And then I'm going to take the top of this, the lid, and the airbox into my paint guy and have him put the stripes on. And then when I get it back, probably, I don't know, in a week, I will put this whole thing back in the car and we're good to go. Okay, so I got my airbox back from paint, and here we go. Turned out really well. This is the main airbox, and I also had the lid painted as well. So what I'm going to do now is get that airbox installed again in the car, and everything put together. Okay. Go ahead and put these velocity stacks inside the holes here. And we're going to in. There we go. Just put that down in there. Alright. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put in the little retainers. Alright. Okay, I've got these little retainers here that hold the velocity stacks in place. I'm going to go ahead and Man. Another one that could go there, but this is on really tight. There's no need to really mess with that. All right, cool. So, next step is to connect up this tube to this. Just, let's see if I can. There we go. There we go. That works pretty good. All right. Okay, so I got this air filter here that I got from the auto parts store. And I just need this one piece here. Just a little standard air filter. And I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to pop it into here so that it separates this snorkel down here with this air intake. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that off and cut it, mark it. So we're going to go ahead and measure this off and mark it, and then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to mark it right here. So I'm going to cut right here. Should do it for me. And let's see if this pair of scissors has it. Alright, pop him there. Now it's going to want to go like that. And just, yeah, okay. I'm going to cut this down maybe one more. Hold on. One more. Okay, let's see how well that fits in. That fits in nice. Alright, pop that in like that. Hold on, let's see. Feel like, no, we need to go one more. Now let's see how well that fits. That fits in really nicely. Okay, so that fits in good. So then what I'll do is just take this guy and I'll just glue him right into place so that he doesn't move. So I'll be right back with some epoxy. Okay, I've taken this clip and I've put a little bit of epoxy here on it. Two-part epoxy. This takes about 24 hours to cure completely. And I'm just going to pop that thing down there and put it in place. And I'm just going to leave it there overnight. And in the morning, it should be set nicely. Then this filter can be replaced. I can just pull that out, cut another one, pop it in place. So while that's curing, I'm going to go ahead and test fit this top here. It's looking like these 3 screws will go in. That one's not going to because that didn't quite line up. I might be able to re-drill that. We'll see. see how that goes. Let me go ahead and try that out. So I've got these bolts. I'm going to go ahead and start screwing them in. Let's see if I can get that. That one's going to be a little tight. No, that didn't work. I just popped it off. So let's pull it off. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that block came off. I may have to, I'll epoxy it back on. Alright, that's not going to work. I will put 2 bolts right here and here. And I'll try. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get anything in there or not. Let's try. Alright. Alright, let's go with this one. Hopefully that's good enough. I may need to drill those holes a little bigger. That one I think is okay. This one. I want to be careful with that. It's going to pop it off. Alright, I'm going to drill that. Where's my drill? Let's see if I can hog that out a little bit. Alright, there we go. That'll stay on. Go ahead and crank that down. Hopefully I don't crack anything. Bit more. Be careful because I don't want to damage the paint. I think that's good. Do that one. A little bit more. And little snug there. Okay. And that's on. That's perfect. Okay, now finally, this guy goes on. To do that, I will need to put these clips in place. Like so. That ought to work. There you go. And pop that on. And just, there we go. There we go. Cool. Now my airbox is installed. Okay, and here's the completed airbox. Here's the primary airbox that covers the carburetor, and the auxiliary airbox with the snorkel that goes down below and picks up cold air. Filters inside of here, and looks like we're done. I hope you enjoyed this video. So check out my other videos on my channel, and leave comments. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks.